Guys, this is not a movie that we have not seen before. I know, like, I understand they're concerned for BJ, as you should be when you watch this, but his mom is in danger. I don't know how anyone is not seeing that part of it. He literally says in the video, if I do something to her, then fill in the blank. Irrelevant. He's already talking about doing something to her. He thinks it's not his mom. People didn't know what was going on with Chris Benoit because he's a quiet guy. He's not a guy who talks a lot. When he had a healthy brain, he wasn't like a talk guy. BJ Penn talks a lot, so you know what's going on in his mind. Okay, that's why people didn't see it coming at all with Chris Benoit. BJ Penn, this is different. He is literally telling you out loud that he thinks his mother that he lives with is not his mother, and he's already talking about attacking her, okay? Now, if people think that what I just showed you in this documentary right here on Chris Benoit is an impossible outcome of this situation, you are out of your mind. Like, this is a really serious situation. All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. So we're going to talk about BJ Penn because I need a break from the world going on right now with all, just looking for topics. Like, the world is too stressful right now. I'm just going to talk about BJ, and it's ironic because it looks like, being conspiracy minded mixed with, a healthy amount of probably, undiagnosed CTE or maybe diagnosed CTE is leading to a really scary situation for BJ. And I'm sure you guys have seen about this, but I wanted to talk more about it because it's part of a much larger situation that's going on, which is, in my opinion, the end of the, the kind of agreed upon narrative, which was that boxing is much more damaging for people's brains than MMA. Now, listen, I am obviously the biggest UFC fan ever. Like, I'm not in any way trying to say that I have any fixes or any kind of suggestions about this. It's just, it's one of those things. Everybody knows that this is a very, very dangerous sport that has very serious consequences, and some of which, some of the fighters end up with serious problems. And I was talking about it with my wife in the car, and I was saying that, like, in some cases, it seems to be, or in most cases, it seems to be these guys that were considered to have absolutely granite chins. It's like, dude, you can't hurt this guy, and then at the end of their career, it's like, man, never mind. You actually were hurting this guy and hurting this guy after all. Now, if you guys haven't seen this video of BJ Penn yet, I'm sure that most of you guys have, but in case you guys haven't, I want to show you this again, and we'll talk about it because he is under the impression that his mom is not actually his mom and that she has been replaced with some kind of like government, duplicate or something. And they're trying to steal his money. And like, his mom is literally in the shot, and he's like, this is not my mom. Like, this is not my mom, you guys. Try to imagine what that would be like if that's your kid. Now, after we look at the BJ Penn thing, I want to bring you guys back because some of you guys might not know the Chris Benoit story, which is, I want to show you exactly what happened in that case because I'm obviously going to talk about it probably in this, or maybe I already have, I don't know. I'm doing this after I shot the BJ Penn part, but I want to talk specifically about exactly what happened with the Chris Benoit story so that everybody understands like how bad this can go in these exact situations. So that's what we're going to do. Now, before I jump into it, I want to say thank you to the sponsor of this video, Yo Kratom. If you're a daily Kratom user and you buy in bulk, $60 kilograms on YoKratom.com, YoKratom.com. The prices and the strains, it'll blow your mind. It's where I get mine. Check them out. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Ring the bell, like the video. All of those things are very helpful to me if you want to help the channel grow. All right, so here is BJ Penn, and this is very concerning. It's only a minute and 25 seconds. What? Yeah, minute 25, so it's not very long, but check it out.
Paul. Huh? F you. F you what? You can only do this because you get the government behind you. F you. Get crazy. F you. This lady right here, look at her ass and legs. She's acting like my 79-year-old mother. But she's not my 79-year-old mother. And it's interesting when you Google Lorraine Abele, our house pops up because this lady acts like Lorraine Inouye. So you Google Lorraine Abele and this house pops up and then you look and then my mom's name starts popping up. She's trying to steal everything and this is not my mother. And I'm putting this up because she's...
They're trying to steal Penn family mummy, M-O-M-E-Y, How to lay Lorraine Kepler, like and share. She already sold our Honolulu studio for $2.5 million. Brother is Paul Abele, Carlos Rivera. Okay, I just wanted to show that like you even got typos in this too.
Saying that she's gonna get an attorney and try to do something. She's trying to throw me out, and if I attack her, she'll try to do something, TR roll or something else. But she's.
Goody, come here, Goody. Go home. Go. Come on.
Come on. Get off the road. Get off the road.
Dude, that's really, really concerning, man. Like, that's clearly the same person. Okay, I've watched other videos where they showed her, you know, kind of like side by side. Like, it's definitely her. So what you have is you have a person with serious CTE in the house with his mother, who he thinks is not his mother. He's convinced that that's not his mom. And he's saying, if I do anything to her, she's going to blah, blah, blah. He's literally saying it on video. Okay? Like, I've seen that. You guys know, the Chris Benoit story, right? Chris Benoit, CTE, they cut his brain open, the worst CTE anyone had ever seen. And what happened there? Killed his wife, killed his kid, hung himself. Okay, like this is a horror. Like this is really dangerous, man. And you could just see, she's trying to throw me out. And he's like following her around with a camera being like, this is not her. This is not her. Like, what are you supposed to do if you're her? And she's just trying to like ignore him. What is she supposed to do? Okay. And in these other videos that I watched, it was her campaigning for him for governor. Like she loves her son, but like, I mean, in all seriousness, what are you supposed to do? What? And this is like really dangerous. This is not just, you should be concerned for BJ. You should be concerned for her. Like his mom is in danger. Okay? His mom's in danger. I'm going to play it again because I really want you to like watch it through that lens right now. Now I made it bigger so you guys could just be right there. Let's watch this together. Okay? Listen to what he says and watch it through that lens this time. All right, here we go. Let's watch it again. Lincoln, think about what I said.
What's up, Paul? Huh? Fuck you, cunt. Fuck you, what? You can only do this because you get the government behind you. Fuck you, like get crazy. Fuck you. This lady right here, look at her ass and legs. She's acting like my 79-year-old mother. But she's not my 79-year-old mother. And it's interesting when you Google Lorraine Abele, our house pops up because this lady acts like Lorraine Benoit. So you Google Lorraine Abele and this house pops up and then you look and then my mom's name starts popping up. She's trying to steal everything and this is not my mother. And I'm putting this up because she's saying that she's going to get an attorney and try to do something. She's trying to throw me out, and if I attack her, she'll try to do something, TR roll or something else, but she's...
Goody, come here, Goody. Go home. Go.
You guys heard that, right?
Something. She's trying to throw me out, and if I attack her, she'll try to do something.
If I attack her, she's going to do something. Like, guys... This is a person who needs help, and his mom is under the same roof as him. He's already talking. If I attack her, and this is a person who's not in his right mind. Obviously, this is the scariest part to me right here, where he's following her down the road, and she's like trying to ignore him, and he's just like following her with a camera. Like imagine the whole scene. Forget about just what's in front of the camera. Like imagine you're on the other side of the street and you're watching this. And you got this dude and he's just following her around with a camera. He's like, this is not my mom. This is not my mom. If I attack her, she says she's going to do something. Okay. He believes it's not his mom. He believes it's a double. Okay. Like, do you guys think that there's no scenario here where like something very, very tragic happens here? Where someone gets choked to death or like, so, you know what I mean?
TR roll or something else, but she's...
Goody, come here, Goody. Go home. Go. Come on.
Come on. the road. Get off the road.
And like her not interacting with him while he's doing this just shows that like this is what he's like all the time. She's not trying to have an interaction with him. She's like giving up, you know? She's like, this is just what he's gonna do. That's why she's like, I need you to get out or whatever. I'm gonna throw you out. It's because like, what is she supposed to do, man? It's really scary, dude. But let's move on to something else. Man, every story I look at is scary right now. Seriously, like I was looking at what videos to do. I'm like, oh, cool. So now, you know, in 2020, we had, the whole like burn down the cities thing. And it's like, oh, weird. Now it's the, destroy every Tesla thing. I'm sure that's not an operation where the exact same people who ran the, burn down the cities BLM thing are running the destroy Teslas thing. It's like, if you can't figure that one out, then you do not understand the world you live in, okay? That is an organized, intentional operation, okay? That is for sure what is happening. They're trying to make people afraid to buy Teslas. That is what they're doing, okay? And you have imbeciles. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to derail this video. I'm going to do another video about that, so look for that. Now, I want to show you how bad this can go. This is the Chris Benoit story, and I wanted to show you guys the Vice TV clip about exactly what happened the night that happened with Chris Benoit. Obviously, he was a WWE star, very, very popular star. And again, after this horrific crime, they cut his brain open, and he had some of the most severe CTE of all time. I would imagine if you go into BJ Penn's brain, it's going to look very similar to this. So let's watch this so that we understand exactly what we are talking about before, when we talk about this thing.
My name is Dennis Fig. I run the security for World Wrestling, and one of our wrestlers that lives down there is missing.
Okay, what's his name?
Chris Benoit.
It was a particularly brutal and vicious murder. It was something that showed some sign of real rage.
Chris was just this gentle giant.
Nobody expects their friend to kill their family. Like, what?
I can't point my finger at one thing and say, this is what caused my brother-in-law to snap.
People need to understand that that was not him. He was my hero.
I need to talk about this. If you're going to say I'm glorifying a murder, stop listening now.
It's Saturday night. I'm going to go into Laredo, Texas. We're doing the Texas Loop. I get to Laredo, and Chris, myself, and Scott Armstrong are going to ride together. And then later I get a call from Chris, and he goes, oh, man, I'm not going to make it. I go, what's wrong? He goes, Daniel and Nancy have food poisoning, and I'm just trying to take care of them. And I'm like, oh, man, are you good? You all right? And he's like, yeah, I'm okay. I said, well, tomorrow we're in Houston for the pay-per-view. So he goes, okay, great. I said, okay, man. And he goes, Chavo. I go, yeah? And he goes, I love you. And I'm like, okay, brother, I love you too, man. That was weird. And I go, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm okay, man. I'm just really tired. And I said, okay, man. Okay, well, you can call me if you need to get any problem. Okay, I will. So then, that's it. About 5:30 in the morning, I get a text, and it was from Chris's phone, and it said, the dogs are in the enclosed pool area, and the back door is open. So I'm just half asleep, and I see this text, and I'm like, the heck is that? All of a sudden, 30 seconds later, I get another text from Nancy's phone, and it says the exact same thing. I was like, what? That's weird. I get another text right afterwards, tells me his physical address. What is that? So I disregarded, thinking I'm picking Chris up in 3 hours at the airport. So then I meet Scott downstairs. We go get breakfast, and I talk to him. I go, hey, man, did you get a weird text from Chris? He goes, yeah, I did. I said, what did it say? And he said the exact same thing. We drive to Corpus Christi for the next show. Still no word from Chris. So the head of talent relations, Johnny Ace, asked me, hey, Chavo, have you heard from Chris? And I said, no. I said, but look, Johnny, and I bring up my phone and I show him. These are the texts that I got from Chris yesterday. And Johnny, in his raspy voice, is like, Chavo, why didn't you show us these yesterday? And I'm like, look, man, we were covering for Chris. We didn't know where he was. You didn't know where he was.
The office starting to get concerned because it was getting to be like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So Vince McMahon has sent a wellness check to his house.
I was in my patrol car just riding around the county and was pretty close to the area when the call went out. My name is Larry Alden. I was with Fayette County Sheriff's Office. I was a lieutenant in charge of the shift that was working the day of the Benoit incident. I had been a detective for about 15 or 20 years. I'd probably see Chris Benoit once or twice a week at the gym, which was right in the middle of Fayetteville. He didn't talk a lot, and he was pretty focused on getting his workout in. I never heard anything about him. I didn't even know where he lived at until the call came out on the radio that day. I wasn't thinking of anything other than a welfare check, or maybe he was sick, maybe drunk. Didn't really know what. I pulled up on scene about the time the neighbor was walking over, and I walked up to them, and I asked if she had seen Mr. Benoit or anybody.
By the way, this is how good Dark Side of the Ring is. Always. So you guys, I mean, look, there's 5 seasons of this. So if you haven't started watching this, you absolutely should. I'm going to let this wrap. We got 2 more minutes of this, and then we'll have some thoughts about this related to the BJ Penn thing.
And she said, it's been 3 or 4 days since I've seen anybody over there. There was 2 large canines in the yard. If I remember correctly, they were German Shepherds. We asked her if there was any place she could put the dogs at so that we could go up there and do the welfare check. And she said, oh yeah, me and the dogs get along great. I feed them whenever they're out of town. And she jumped the fence, dogs right there with her. She walked them in there, never had to take hold to them. It was taking a little longer than I thought it should take, but then she came running out the door screaming that Daniel's dead, Daniel's dead. I went from just being a regular welfare check, okay, we got something more serious here.
So this man calls a meeting at the ring.
Dean Malenko sitting next to me. I just had
There you go. You get the point, dude. The guy murdered his family, okay? Murdered his wife, murdered his kid, killed himself. Sent those text messages out. The end. Now, does anybody think that this would, this was a guy who obviously had a very serious mental health issue underlying. That's the thing about this is like, the guys that are quiet, I'll tell you the difference between Chris Benoit and BJ Penn. BJ Penn's not a quiet guy. BJ Penn is a loud guy. Not loud, but like he talks. Like, you know what's going on in his brain. Okay? Like, you know what's going on with BJ Penn. Like, people didn't know what was going on with Chris Benoit because he's a quiet guy. He's not a guy who talks a lot. When he had a healthy brain, he wasn't like a talk guy. BJ Penn talks a lot, so you know what's going on in his mind. Okay? That's why people didn't see it coming at all with Chris Benoit. BJ Penn, this is different. He is literally telling you out loud that he thinks his mother that he lives with is not his mother, and he's already talking about attacking her, okay? Now, if people think that what I just showed you in this documentary right here on Chris Benoit is an impossible outcome of this situation, you are out of your mind. Like, this is a really serious situation, okay? I don't know what the answer is. I don't have any experience with this kind of thing, like intervening, but this is not a game. Like, this is actually really, really serious. I mean, aside from the fact that BJ Penn, who obviously is one of the most beloved fighters of all time, is really struggling. But this is dangerous. It's really dangerous. I don't know what to do beyond this except just put this video out and say it and, whatever happens from here. So, I don't know. I don't know what to do. But that's, I hadn't heard anybody cover it that way. Like, I've been watching people talk about it. Everybody giving really good takes, honestly. But you just think about it like this, dude. It's like when you're talking about brain damage from like repeated contact to the head. I've talked about this a billion times. It's like the brain is this. It really is scary when you think about the fact that, like, if you hit the brain, the lights go out. Does anybody remember anything about being unconscious? Like, do you ever get knocked out and remember anything? Or are you just kind of like, oh, I lost time, oh, I just lost time. It's like, cause, I don't know. Actually, I don't even want to finish that thought. Bottom line is this, dude, repeated trauma to the brain, right? Bang, 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 to the brain stem, rat, like it's going to heal for a while. And at a certain point, all that cumulative damage is going to leave people in a really bad spot. You got Nick Diaz really struggling right now, it sounds like. Mark Coleman really struggling. You got a bunch of other guys who weren't as big as stars, but those big stars, what do they all have in common? Granite chins, dude. You know what I mean? Just granite chins. Tough ass dudes. And this is the first one of these that I've seen where I'm like, this could have a really bad outcome. It was very concerning, dude. Anyway, that's probably enough. Love you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell. Bye-bye.